Welcome back to AFT Dice Season 3. It is the preliminary final week. Let's go to the first preliminary final. It's the GWS Giants versus Port Adelaide. Let's go to the first quarter. First quarter's nearly done. And the first quarter's done. We've got GWS 2-6 and Port Adelaide 1-3 at quarter time. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter's done. Port Adelaide kicked 5-4 to GWS 1-3 in that second quarter. At halftime, Port Adelaide are in front by 16 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. In the third quarter, GWS have kicked 2-5 to Port Adelaide 4-3. And at three-quarter time, Port Adelaide are 26 points up. Let's go to the last quarter. See who gets into the grand final. And Port Adelaide have won this preliminary final. They've kicked 3-3 to GWS 1-5. And Port Adelaide won by 36 points. They're the first team to be in the grand final. GWS won a lot of games in a row. But Port Adelaide, they've been the victors in this game. Okay, let's go to the next second preliminary final to see who plays the Port Adelaide Power in the grand final. Let's go to the first quarter, North Melbourne versus Sydney Swans. And the Sydney Swans have kicked 4-2 to North Melbourne 2-1. At quarter time, Sydney are in front by 13 points. Let's go to the second quarter. And the second quarter, North Melbourne kicked 1-4 to Sydney 5-4. And at halftime, Sydney are in front by 37 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, North Melbourne kicked 5-3 to Sydney 5-6. And at three-quarter time, Sydney are in front by 40 points. They could well be in their second grand final in 3 years. All right, let's go to the last quarter. See who wins and gets into the grand final. Okay, we've got Sydney winning the second preliminary final by 36 points as well. So the final scores, North Melbourne 10-14, 74 to Sydney 16-14, 1-1-0. And we have it, Port Adelaide have won the first preliminary final, Sydney winning the second, and as we have got it, Port Adelaide versus Sydney Swans in the grand final. Okay. And how we've got it, the AFT Dice Season 3 grand final. Next game, Port Adelaide versus Sydney Swans. Sydney Swans won the first inaugural AFT Dice Season grand final against Carlton. So they play Port Adelaide in the third grand final. So we'll see you next time on AFT Dice Season 3.